Hello and welcome to Monday's programme.
Your headlines tonight. The lethal sweets laced with drugs that pose a threat to children in Wiltshire.
And the things you really worry about in very young children are potentially seizures or cardiac or respiratory complications.
Also tonight, red light runners. Police across Avon and Somerset report a rise in drivers ignoring stoplights.
Making waves, we meet Somerset teenagers swimming to take a stand against sewage pollution.
Needs a good cross, it's not a bad one! Oh, what a goal!
And we take a look back at that amazing backheeled goal scored by Bristol City's Dom Ballard.
A very good evening. Welcome to the programme. Police in Wiltshire are warning parents and children to watch out for drugs disguised as sweets as youngsters spend more time out of the house during the summer holidays.
Well, officers say they've already found 40 packets of extra strong cannabis gummies in the Eldene area of Swindon, and they believe many more might have been sold on the streets. Meanwhile, an expert at the University of Bath has told ITV News that the chemicals in edible drugs can be fatal to children. Karen Bell reports.
They look like sweets many children would recognise, but police say these are probably cannabis gummies, and strong ones.
So we think they are very strong. Certainly the packaging would suggest that they are. 1,000 milligrams, we assume that relates to THC, which would be, well, if you had the whole packet and the whole packet is 1,000 milligrams, that might be the equivalent of smoking 20 joints.
THC is the main psychoactive chemical in the cannabis plant. Police found 40 bags of these sweets at a house in the Eldene area of Swindon, but they're worried that could be the tip of the iceberg, that many more might already have been sold or have found their way into the wrong hands.
I mean, I'd love to think that even our drug dealers aren't selling to very young children, but we can't rule it out. But I'm also concerned about these being in households where people have bought them, perhaps for their own use, and then being found and consumed by kids that are in the house and don't know any better.
At Bath University's new Centre of Drug Use Research, Professor Chris Pudney has developed a machine which can test what's actually inside so-called edibles.
So that colour now would be that is THC. Different colours meaning different drugs.
He has boxes full of edibles handed to him by police forces across the country. Again, some of them will look very familiar to children, but the consequences of children eating them could be fatal.
In very young children, THC is markedly more risky than it is in adults. And the things you really worry about in very young children are potentially seizures or cardiac or respiratory complications.
Professor Pudney says the big problem with illicit edibles is you just don't know what you're getting. His research has shown that the THC quantity on the packet often bears no relation to the actual strength of the sweets. They might not just contain cannabis either.
This is marketed as a cannabis edible, THC edible, but actually this has got a synthetic drug called spice in it, which is really more commonly a drug we find in prison, and at a massive dosage. So this is incredibly risky. But again, you can see here really pitched as cannabis edible.
Police are asking parents and children to watch out for these products on sale online and elsewhere, and to bear in mind that an innocent-looking sweet can be anything but. Karen Bell, ITV News, Swindon.
Right, let's bring you some other news tonight. And Defence Secretary Wes Streeting has been in the West Country today to lay out Andy Burnham's plans for defence spending. It comes as the Prime Minister visited Ukraine on his first overseas trip. Mr. Streeting spoke to industry experts about new hybrid warfare being developed across our region. He says the increased use of AI equipment, like the autonomous helicopters being manufactured in Yeovil, will create jobs rather than replace them.
Well, I think what we're going to see both in defence and right across the economy is as this AI revolution sweeps this country and the world, there will be some jobs that are replaced by technology, but also new jobs, new careers grow. And what we're seeing in defence, as with other key parts of our public sector, like health, for example, you've got new technology which adds to human capability and human potential.
The number of motorists caught going through red lights has risen sharply over the last 2 years. That's according to a Freedom of Information request. Avon and Somerset Police, for instance, reported an increase of offences of more than a third from 2023 to 2025.
Well, experts say not only are drivers risking fines and points on their licence, they're also endangering other road users and pedestrians. Kevin Ashford reports.
A red light means stop, but for some drivers it seems not always. Research by an online car sales company revealed that Avon and Somerset Police saw red light offences rise from just over 300 in 2023 to more than 400 last year. And almost 470 offences were recorded in the first 3 months of this year alone.
We've clearly seen more enforcement, which is a good thing, but I think also there's a pattern of impatient behaviour on the roads, which means that people are really trying their luck to go through these red lights. When you're at these junctions, you shouldn't be trying your luck. You're not going to get anywhere more quickly, so sit patiently, wait and be safe.
Stopping at red lights not only has consequences for drivers, but pedestrians are also at risk.
Seeing cars coming possibly quite quickly towards traffic lights would mean people rushing, which could be quite dangerous for them. It could also put people off walking or wheeling entirely. There are older people, people who are disabled, who really rely on traffic lights to cross the road safely. And if they feel that cars might not stop at these traffic lights, it may put them off leaving the house altogether.
The body representing senior police officers told us that ignoring a traffic signal risks the safety of everyone involved. And we all have a responsibility to look after each other, reducing the number of people killed and seriously injured on our roads each year. Failing to stop your vehicle at a red light is an offence which, at a minimum, means a £100 fine and 3 points on your licence. In more serious cases, the penalties can be higher. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
You're watching ITV News in the West Country with Alex and Seb.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us this Monday evening. We're on the countdown to a bank holiday now.
We are, yes.
Nice. Still ahead before 6:30. Also nice. Ross is here.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you all about this. People at home, you may already know what this is. If you don't, well, you can have a say. Is this the best goal Bristol City have ever scored? Join me later.
You might agree. It's quite amazing. And we're going to meet Anne Cook, the 90-year-old who's been photographing Glastonbury Festival for 3 decades. Before all that, for children at least, hospitals can be a frightening and unfamiliar place. But hospital play therapists, known as health play specialists, can make that experience less scary, using play to relax children and help them understand procedures and medicines.
But new data collected by the Starlight Children's Foundation and shared exclusively with ITV News shows a shortfall in the number of health play specialists in the southwest. Hannah Ludlow reports.
13-year-old Philly Hookway was just 3 years old when she was diagnosed with the blood cancer leukemia. She's now finished treatment and says support from health play specialists helped her to get through gruelling months in hospital.
They give you games, because I couldn't use the communal games in case someone else made me sick. And they just, helped me overcome some fears as well, like losing my hair and having a ports cath.
They had what they called the neutropenic play cupboard, so they would go and get toys that could be sterilised and cleaned properly, and those would be provided for her. Play therapy provided these little moments of respite when things could just be silly again.
But it's a hospital experience not every child gets to have. Data from Freedom of Information requests collected by the Starlight Children's Foundation and shared exclusively with ITV News shows a shortfall in the number of health play specialists in England. The charity recommends 1 specialist to every 10 children admitted to hospital each day. In the southwest, it's more than 6 times that, with 1 specialist to 62 children on average. And the investigation found that just 38% of trusts or health boards in the region have a budget for health play staff training and development.
So this is to help children prepare and understand an MRI test and what's going to happen throughout.
Whether it's through role play, reading or virtual reality, health play specialist Lucy Dickinson says play is vital for children's physical and mental well-being.
If play wasn't accessible within hospitals, children may not have their procedures done, they may not have their treatment completed, they may miss doses of medicine, and they also may experience things like anxiety and boredom within hospital, and that's definitely not something that we want.
While we're waiting for investment in health play specialists in the NHS in England, we need to see more available training for every clinician to enable them to have a better understanding of playful approaches to clinical care. It's not just about the treatment. A truly successful outcome is about children's mental health and well-being, as well as clinical success.
For young people like Philly, health play specialists are more than just a friendly face with a bag of toys. They can be the reason a child in hospital gets to go home. Hannah Ludlow, ITV News.
I have to say that's a very good idea.
Yeah, they were so sweet, weren't they? What a brilliant idea, yeah.
Right, time for the sport and a look at that amazing goal and a look at the high-scoring weekend for our West Country teams.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Yeah, and Ross has got loads to talk about, haven't you?
Yeah, so much to talk about. Yeah, only one place to start though, isn't it? This. Yeah, very, very special. Bristol City, and a moment that has caught national headlines. A lot of you may have already seen this goal, but if you haven't, here it is. City's new striker, Don Ballard's backheel volley in the draw against Birmingham has been viewed millions of times on social media. Many have called it one of the best goals they've ever seen. It wasn't enough to win the match. There was more drama later on, but he was absolutely delighted with it.
Yeah, obviously, not just me. I think the performances from everyone. Everyone played their role today and did it really well. But yeah, to score that goal, I don't think I'll score many better. But yeah, really, really, really happy. Yeah, when you come to a new club, you want to hit the ground running really quickly, and didn't happen last week. There was circumstances, and but yeah, to get it today, especially like you said against the good Birmingham side, yeah, it was a lovely goal.
I just can't believe that one. It's got to be contender for goal of the season already, and second game in now?
Yeah.
Second game in, yeah. His first debut goal for the club. Yeah, unbelievable moment. I was at the stadium. It was so special. It's the sort of goal that kids all over the country, they're going to be trying to recreate this. I used to try and recreate this sort of thing with my best friend Kieran. Annoyingly, he was always way better at trying to recreate them than I was. But yeah, unbelievable goal and yeah, just absolutely phenomenal goal of the season. It could be nominated for the Puskas. That's sort of the big global awards. Yeah, he would have to then go to the awards ceremony and everything. It would be very.
You're not too old to keep trying, you know.
Yeah, I think I am.
If you. No, you're not. You let us know if you manage it.
He's about 9 years younger than me, which makes me feel very old. But yeah, anyway.
Not as old as it makes us feel.
Yeah, well done, Don Ballard. Well done. Anyway, elsewhere, Bristol Rovers fans were treated to a goal fest at the Memorial Stadium. Steve Evans' side shared 8 goals with Newport County. The final score, 5-3 to the Gas. They'd gone behind with just 15 seconds on the clock, but struck back in comical fashion. Striker Fabrizio Caven also bagged himself 2 goals in this one. The talking point, though, this one, Bobby Camoy scored this goal and then ran the entire length of the pitch to celebrate in front of the visiting fans. He actually joined Rovers from Newport this summer. Very, very enjoyable for him. Not so for the travelling supporters. No love lost.
That was elsewhere, so nice.
Yeah, elsewhere in League Two, we had a West Country derby in Swindon. Town welcomed Cheltenham. Both sides avoided defeat in their first home match. The home side, though, they were looking for their first win over their visitors at the county ground since 2012. Aaron Drinnan got them off to a great start, an incredible goal. Ollie Clark then put them 2-0 up. Steve Cotterill's side scored an incredible goal of their own as well through Ryan Broom late on, but it wasn't enough to secure or rescue a point. And in the National League, 10-man Forest Green lost 3-0 to Boreham Wood. Yeovil Town, though, they got their first win. The Glovers beat Gateshead 3-0. Luke McCormick getting 2 of their goals in that one late on to seal the win. Both they and Forest Green sit in mid-table after 3 matches. Now, last week, we told you about the amateur rugby club from Bristol competing at the International Gay Rugby World Cup in Australia. Well, the Bristol Bisons overcame Chicago Dragons after extra time to win their first Hoagland Cup title. At the weekend, we caught up with their captain.
It was always one of those things that we really hoped we'd be able to achieve. But when we came together, we kind of made a promise to ourselves that we'd be going out chasing a feeling and chasing our moments, both individually and collectively. That feeling was just absolutely ecstatic, not least because it had been such a long game and much longer than we planned for. And after kind of 4 days of very intense rugby as well. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal feeling and just means the absolute world to us. And we said before every game that we were doing it for Bristol.
Doing it for Bristol, well, made Bristol proud. Well done. And last week, we also discussed Bristol's American football team, the Aztecs, who were in a semi-final looking to defend their Brit Bowl crown. Well, they welcomed Coventry to Shaftesbury Park in front of nearly 1,500 supporters. They actually crushed their opponents, 45-7. Now they play in the final of the competition that they won last year. Their match against the Manchester Titans is on September the 6th. Another good celebration there. A lot of good celebrations. And by the way, a lot of good goals. Goal of the season competition for us this week.
I'm feeling exhilarated.
Yeah, it was pretty box office today.
I love the running.
Yeah.
That was just amazing.
It's going to do it at the end of the programme. Yeah. Thanks, Ross. Before that big run, though, on a beautiful summer's day, this is a lovely sight, isn't it? There's actually a group of teenagers showing off their swimming skills in Lyme Bay. But for these young people, there's an important message they're getting across: the release of sewage along our beautiful coastline.
Yeah, they've been taking on a series of endurance swimming challenges this summer to highlight this message, while also raising money for a community initiative in Wiveliscombe to help children learn to swim. Marina Jenkins went along to meet them.
These swimmers are on a mission. They're impressive endurance athletes and are passionate about campaigning against sewage pollution in the sea, which is, after all, their training ground.
The Big Swim is all about promoting cleaner, safer water and helping people to gain water confidence. So I've been swimming for a few years now, quite a few years, and I found that I really, really enjoy it. But then why should we sacrifice something that I really like doing so that people can pump out sewage and things into the water? And it's obviously a huge safety risk for people getting viruses, diseases, and really seriously ill.
The group is based in Wiveliscombe in Somerset and regularly travels down to train here in Lyme Bay.
Just beyond that beautiful arch there is Bea Head, and there's a combined sewer outlet there, which when it releases, sometimes it discolours the water there.
Whether swimming across the English Channel or completing marathons off the Jurassic coast, they just want cleaner sea.
It's not just people who are in the water like I am for a long period of time. You can get ill from just having a dip in the sea. And I just think it's disgusting. And not only does it affect our health, it affects the ecosystems in the water as well.
They also use their big swims to raise money to help local children learn to swim.
We have a legacy initiative called Level the Water, where if people want to donate on the back of these swims, we're going to provide a clean environment for children to learn to swim at Wivy Pool, and we're going to help to subsidise that.
South West Water says while storm overflows play a key role in preventing flooding, a spokesperson says we're investing £760 million to reduce storm overflows across the southwest. We reduced spills by 17% in the last year, with spill duration down by 25%. We know there is more to do, but the data shows the plan is working. For these teenagers, they really hope that continues to be the case, because they love their sport.
And like how proud you feel of yourself afterwards.
Mr. McCarthy always says there are 3 R's in swimming. You've got to get the rhythm, relaxing, and can't actually remember the third one.
The third R is reach. So when you swim, you've got to reach forwards. I really just love the water, and it's good to have a test that tests you all the time. I also love when it's lovely and clear, and the challenges it allows us to do.
It really boosts your confidence, and afterwards you just feel so much better about yourself.
You really build resistance to like the cold water.
It's your mind, and you've got to tell yourself that you can do it, and then if you can do it, you'll be able to do it.
With all that drive and determination, they hope that before too long, West Country waters will be cleaner for everyone to enjoy. Marina Jenkins, ITV News in Beer.
Fantastic job they're doing. Now, we all know age is no barrier to enjoying the Glastonbury Festival, and 90-year-old Anne Cook knows all that too well. She's from Wales, and Anne has been taking photos of the event since the early 90s.
Yeah, in fact, Anne has embraced the name Granny Goes to Glastonbury for talks that she gives on her experiences. So with the festival having a year off, some of Anne's work has been on display in Wales, as Ben McGrail reports.
We always see photographs of Michael smiling with his wonderful festival smile, but I've seen other sides of him looking very serious, looking anxious, because he has gone through great difficulties.
You are both celebrating your 90th year.
I wouldn't say celebrating it.
Other than Glastonbury Festival founder Michael Eavis, there can be few who've seen as much of it over the years as Anne Cook. She's been going to and capturing the event since the early 90s.
Well, a wonderful memories all those years, from the very beginning, when it was much more primitive, the festival. People could sort of get in over the wall or under the wall or through the wall. The first few years, it was a bit dodgy. I liked the edginess.
Being in her 50s in the early days, she faced some unkind comments about her age, so she decided to own it, giving talks about her photos with the title Granny Goes to Glastonbury. And despite being interested in the sights rather than the sounds, some musicians have made her stop and listen.
Amy Winehouse, when I first went, I had no idea who she was. She suddenly sang that song of hers, Rehab. And she goes, no, no, no. And shivers went down my spine. I thought, this one is terrific. And I just became her everlasting fan.
Anne's photos capture the variety, eccentricity and pure fun of the festival goers, and she has a particular tactic to get the right shot.
I find a really super background, and I'll lurk in front of it, and then pants on people as they walk past. I look for the colour and the eccentricity and the fun. So lurking and stalking has been my method. So that's a secret I'm giving you for nothing.
To mark Anne's 90th and the fallow year of the festival, she's got an exhibition of some of her work in her home city of Wells.
A lot of our customers, they've known Glastonbury for a long time and brings back a lot of memories. So we've had a lot of fruitful. Anne's pictures are going to be with us until the beginning of September.
Do you think you'll be back at Worthy Farm next year?
Oh yes, but you know, they let me have a mobility scooter. So I go around on a mobility scooter, and I took my son as my carer one year, and he got very annoyed because I was either going too fast or too slow.
Do you still get excited?
About Glastonbury Festival? Yes. Oh, yes. It's a strange thing. A sort of surge of excitement goes through it, isn't it? It's bound to all the people there and all the different stages and the colour and the fashions people. You know, definite Glastonbury fashions, aren't there? It's unique. Of course I get excited, yes. How could you not?
It's my new favourite person.
She's amazing. Never ever stop, Anne. Never ever stop.
Love that. Thank you for sharing your secrets.
Well, Charlie is on the national news tonight, so he's out and about. And you're in Teignmouth. Look at that. What view. You enjoying it down there?
Pretty cool. I am. You know what? It looks on camera like it's a nice, serene, warm, peaceful, comforting place to come, but I can tell you the wind is pretty fierce and there's been some incredible waves here earlier on today, but we have otherwise seen some pretty decent temperatures, 25, 26 through parts of Somerset, Merrifield, Yeovilton, some of the warmest spots. So there's still a little bit of power, and that's one thing we'll see a little bit more of this week is a little rise in temperatures, small rise in humidity, but otherwise this kind of windiness, well, that's going to bring something else to the forecast too.
clear start makes way for a day of ancient discoveries. TUI sponsors ITV West Country weather.
And we've got low pressure in charge as we work our way through this week. Granted, today has been fine and largely quiet with a bit of high pressure left over, but that low pressure will bring us some outbreaks of rain, some heavy ones, maybe some thunderstorms later this week, and in the short term, some higher temperatures and a more humid feel to things as well. The Atlantic shows why. The high pressure we had over the weekend and today is slowly moving our way to the north. It's going to allow an area of low pressure just to nudge in from the southwest. The resultant wind direction being a southerly will just give us a bit of heat and humidity, but then fronts start to approach from as early as tomorrow, but more likely Wednesday, and they could provide us with some pretty hefty downpours later in the week. As for the rest of this evening and tonight, relatively calm and quiet. It should just about stay dry, I think, with some decent clear skies, but I think a bit more cloud will creep in. There might just be the odd outbreak of rain as we work our way towards dawn, but unlike the last couple of nights where we've had temperatures down to mid-single figures, it won't necessarily be that chilly through tonight. Towns and cities, always that bit warmer, low to mid-teens, I think, into tomorrow. And then tomorrow is a bit more of a mixed day. Now, there will be some sunshine around. I think the further west you are, you're likely to tap into a couple of outbreaks of heavy rain still, but for the most part, it should be pretty fine. Some nice sunshine. Again, the winds not too strong unless you're down towards the Dorset coast, I wouldn't have thought. And temperatures up to 25 or 26, a bit more widely maybe. And with that, we'll have a bit more humidity, so we'll just feel that a little bit closer, I think, for most of us too. As for the outlook, well, potential then from Wednesday onwards just to see a few more heavy, maybe thundery showers, temperatures dropping a little bit, but on the whole, potential for some pretty wet weather later this week. Wouldn't be surprised maybe if we see a warning for some heavy rain in time.
TUI sponsors ITV West Country weather.
So yes, some much needed rainfall, I guess you could say, although if those showers do materialise, then we'll be looking at huge quantities of water in a short space of time. So unlike a nice kind of prolonged bit of rainfall that will actually soak into the ground, if we get these heavy showers, it might just hit the ground and run straight off.
Yeah,
Okay.
not ideal.
Charlie, thank you. See you in the national news in a moment.
Yeah, you can really hear that wind as well.
That's it from us. We'll see you at 10:30. Hope you can join us then. Goodbye.